Techniques for shooting a flintlock rifle, or any gun for that matter, but Kentucky's tend to be a little heavier on the average. So what I do is I prepare myself for a target. Now mind you, if it's a hunting scenario and you got a snapshot, hopefully all the practice you did beforehand comes together really quickly to make you successful. But on a woods walk or a target range, you have a lot of time to think about stuff, and that's where you kind of perfect a rhythm or a system of how you can be successful and get all your sights aligned and get on target and pull a good shot off. What I do is I start out with the gun primed already. I go ahead and pull it back to half cock. Normally after my first shot, I just pull it to half cock. Gun's loaded, go ahead and prime it. I drop my arms down low while I'm holding the gun. You're holding it up here, your arm's going to get tired. So just go ahead and drop the weight down on that front arm. Looking at it, keeping your hand pretty much on the outside of the trigger guard. Don't touch your trigger. I look at where I want to be. If I have set triggers, I go ahead and set that trigger now. I've seen people that do it when it's up here at their face. It's just another distraction. It takes time away from their breathing, takes time away from their mental state of what they want to do. So go ahead and get that trigger set. You're setting that half cock. Look at what you want to shoot. Pick a spot. I don't care if it's 12 inches round or it's a square or whatever. Pick a spot in the middle, exactly where you want to hit. Look at that spot. Get your eyes focused out there. I don't know how you are. I don't focus on three things at the same time. So what happens is I bring the rifle up underneath. I'm looking at my target that I want to hit. I bring the rifle up underneath. As soon as it gets up into my sight plane, I go from the front sight to the rear sight and back and forth to line those up about twice. And then I bring it up underneath. I don't like taking a gun down from the top, because what it does, it breaks your line of vision for that target that you're wanting to hit. Also, I don't like bringing a gun down on an animal, because normally, and this is theory or philosophy, either way, deer are used to stuff coming from the top. If it comes from the top down, it's normally a tree or a branch or something. A lot of times things come from the bottom up, and that's sometimes deer looking at each other. There's a lot of things that come up. But when it comes from the high side down, it's like it's a spooker. Back to target shooting. If you're shooting your target and you bring it up and you line those up, what I do is I breathe. I take 3 big breaths. And what that does is floods your system with oxygen. I take 2 big breaths, and when the third one comes, I cock the hammer, bring the rifle up underneath at the same time that I'm watching where I'm wanting to be. So you come up underneath, hold half of that shot, and as soon as you're focused, these two, focus this one on your target center and drop the hammer. It's not going to get any better than that. If you wait too long, your heart rate goes up a little bit. You have to take another breath or two, and by then you've already lost your rhythm. If you can get in a consistent practice of doing that, that you breathe, hold that half breath, be looking at your target, get those sights lined up, trust your sights, and as soon as that front sight touches that center, cut it loose. And what I do is when it's coming up underneath, I use my arm to lift the gun to get there quickly. As soon as I'm close to where I need to be, I stop lifting my arm and I start using my back muscles. And by using your back muscles, you're tightening everything up, that when you're coming up, when the hammer shot comes, you get that tiny bit of hammer shot comes down, your back muscles are already tight enough. It should help you keep tense enough when that gun goes off, you're rock solid. Try it, practice it, see what works for you. But that is what's worked for me for years, and that's how I've taught people how to shoot a flintlock.